Whether you are a pro athlete, an exhausted parent, or you spend 8 hours a day in an uncomfortable office chair, everyone needs support to make it through the day. Luckily, our friends at CBDMD have an amazing duo of topical products that can help you relax, regroup, and recharge when life gets chaotic. CBD Freeze with Menthol is an award-winning product that offers instant cooling relief for muscles and joints in a convenient and easy-to-use roller or shareable squeeze tube. CBD Recover combines CBD with the blood flow-enhancing compound histamine dihydrochloride to temporarily relieve minor aches and pains and give you support you need where it matters most. Hey, I'm 51. I don't recover from my workouts like I did when I was 31, and I've been using these two products to help me train for my 50-mile run across the Grand Canyon and back. And to make it even easier to try, freeze, recover, and everything else CBD has to offer, you can take 25% off your next order when you use the promo code FITNESS at checkout. Once again, that's cbdmd.com, promo code FITNESS for 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products from CBDMD.
John Legend and Jackie Cruz are making their voices heard.
I don't care if you're voting the same as me or not. We want your vote to be counted.
It's time for our government to be accountable.
Every one of us has a reason to vote. That's millions of voices that need to be heard. And that's why iHeart Radio launched the Why I'm Voting podcast, a place where music artists, celebrities, and people like you talk about why they vote and why it matters.
The only sure way that we can hold them accountable is to make sure we participate in these elections.
And if we don't go out there and make it happen, no one else is going to fight for us.
You know why you're voting, but do you know how you're going to make sure your vote is counted? That's why Facebook created the Voting Information Center, full of up-to-date, state-specific info on how to register, vote by mail, and safely vote in person. Get information from election authorities and experts at facebook.com/votinginfocenter. And don't miss the new podcast from iHeart Radio and Facebook called Why I'm Voting. iHeart Radio's Why I'm Voting Countdown to Election Day. Your vote is your voice.
All right, talking about free fitness, talking about not inexpensive ways, free ways to dramatically improve your mental state and your physical state, and you can do them all right away. Number 5, stretch. We need to stretch. Now, so much controversy. Does it improve performance? Blah, 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 blah. There's 2 basic things you need to know when it comes to your body and stretching. If you move a lot, if you're someone like me who runs a lot and does a lot of different things when it comes to movement, your muscles get tight. And if you do, as I said earlier, one form predominantly, whether it be biking or swimming or running or rowing or walking, whatever it is, you're going to get tight in one specific way. And those muscles need to be less tight. They need to move through their optimal range of motion. Now, I know there's going to be some fitness people who go, oh, but the studies say, yeah, we're talking about, when you look at those studies, it's about power production and things like that that have little to no bearing on the average person who doesn't want to have aches and pains and low back pain and shoulder pain and hip pain and knee pain. It is better for our bodies to work through their natural, optimal range of motion. And when certain muscles are tight in different ways, the body compensates. You know what? As I say that, I have yet to do the show on compensation. I've talked about it, but sure, you can have tight hip flexors, and then what happens? The body compensates. And then the pain goes away from where you had it, whether, it was in your hips, and then you go, oh, my hips don't hurt anymore. Well, yeah, and then what? Your knees or your shoulders or seemingly unrelated issues pop up, but they're not unrelated, is the point. So we need to stretch. And that goes for people who are listening who move a lot, or the vast majority of people who move a little. Both cause tight muscles. You go, that's total counterintuitive. Sure, but think about it for 2 seconds, as I just said. Move a lot, muscles get tight in specific ways. Exercise a lot. Move a little, sit all day. There's just so many people, muscles get tight. So we need to stretch them. And again, I'm always about the great news. The great news is a couple minutes. Now, ideally, you do that stretching after exercise when your muscles are warm and your blood flow has gone to the muscles and your core temperature is elevated. Can't always happen. So I'm a big proponent of, I watch some TV at night. I'm still old, so many people watch it on their computers and things. I still have a TV on the wall. And that is a great time for me. I flop down on the rug with the dogs, and I'm going to stretch my lower back. I'm going to do things like that. These tips and topics I'm giving you should and can be done throughout the day, whenever you can. There is no optimal time, in my opinion. What matters most is that you do it. So when it comes to stretching a lower back, leg muscles, shoulders, simple full body stretch routines that if you do 10 to 30 seconds per major muscle group, huge, costs nothing. I'm going to connect it in a second to something else, but it costs nothing. We need to stretch. And just like so many other things when it comes to exercise, you say, what do I do? I'm going to get to that. But most of you know some basic stretches. Many of you have already been to physical therapy, unfortunately, and been told what to do. Do them proactively. Where is your, pain? Where are those aches and pains? And to wrap this one up, even when you don't have the aches and pains, that is when prehab. You need to not only strengthen your muscles when, they're not a problem, but you need to stretch them when they're not a problem. So what? So they don't become problems. And this is maintenance. This is taking your car periodically to get serviced. You are servicing your muscles and your musculoskeletal system throughout the day, short little bursts, and stretching should be a part of that. All right? Number 6, one of my favorites, take a nap. So I'm bad at sleeping at night, go to bed late, get up early, but I have an office, I have a studio, I take naps there frequently. I also take naps on a chair. My kids are playing sports now, they have to get to the event early. I've been known to take many a nap in the back of the truck. All right? And there's studies, going to get to it in 2 seconds, that show there's benefits. Now, one of the major things, my wife is one of the people who she feels guilty taking a nap. It's a sign of weakness to her. She's a tough woman. She needs naps too. So we need sleep. Studies show, research shows approximately 47% of people avoid naps. We would be better off having them and taking them. Sleep is when we repair, rebuild. Not just physically, but mentally as well, obviously. And you start to see how all of this stuff is connected, mentally and physically. There are not two separate, parts to our body when it comes to those two aspects of our body. They are so connected. And sleep is important. So what I do in my office is say, hey, Siri, wake me up in 25 minutes. And I take a nap. If I'm in the car before, hockey tournament game, whatever, kids got to be there 45 an hour before. Sometimes I go for a run. Sometimes I read. Sometimes I take a nap. So I know many people say I don't have time. Research shows doesn't have to be long, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Actually, the research does show you don't want it to be too long. Still debate as to optimal duration, but naps, recharging your batteries, and different for everybody, but it's free. It works wonders, and that goes for, helping you reduce fatigue, obviously, increase your alertness, improve your mood, and improve your performance. So the studies show quicker reaction time, better memory. So we need that sleep. And back to this amazing class I'm taking right now, we are studying sleep deprivation. It's really not good for us. It made me feel really guilty about my lack of sleep, and I'm working on it. We're all experiments of one. I know where my weak